Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the markets in EVE Online. So it's just a few weeks until we get the Kronos release. As I've said a few times already, our first focus is going to be on trying to produce some of those new Mordos ships. They're finally seeded on the CC test server, not in the final version though. The skin definitely still needs some work, but I'll get to test those out pretty soon as well. Still, we're here for the market. Things have gone a little bit more quiet since the announcement that the industry changes are not coming in the Kronos release. So yeah, I do think we'll see a lot of sideways movement at the moment. People will probably be waiting to see when and how the industry changes are going to get deployed on CC, so they can have a better idea of what the market's going to do. Let's start off with Plex. I'll write down 1 minute. And buyers 722, sellers 739. That's up a decent amount, honestly. Let's have a quick look here at the chart. Yep, that's taking back off towards 740, even on the 5-day moving average. That's a pretty significant movement right here. Does the announcement that CCP EOC has or is leaving CCP have anything to do with this? Are they expecting that there won't be any new interventions by CCP? I think they'd be wrong on that. But yeah, that is one announcement that we had last week. That is pretty unfortunate. We're losing another CCP dev, CCP EOC. He actually has like a dean chip or something like that. That is going to do. But yeah, for Plex, that's another pretty big jump. I think we're looking at least a 15 million jump from last week. So yeah, that's up quite a little bit. Are people maybe coming back for Kronos and wanting to Plex their accounts, or is supply coming down once again? That's another possibility. Still, more than 700 million for a Plex, and it's been like that for a good amount of time now already. Will we see a pullback during the summer? That's maybe a possibility, but at the moment it's very hard to say what is going to happen. You used to have a very clear cyclical cycle. Well, that cycle is always cyclical, but a very clear cycle concerning Plex, where it would rise very steeply at the winter expansion and then drop back off, and maybe have a little bounce during the summer expansion. Then after that, during the summer, it would really start to trail off, reach a bottom, and you would have basically two buying opportunities with a big sell opportunity at the winter expansion. With the new release schedule that CCP is going to use, this is going to change obviously, and it's very hard to tell now what Plex is going to do, whether it's in the short term or in the long term. At the moment it's going very high, more than 700 million. It's been well established there for quite a little bit. Let's move on to minerals then. We're looking at 315, and this is the titanium chart for 1 year. Maybe it's a good idea to maybe have a quick look at that as well, try and gauge some trends. And well, 6 ISK, that's been it's the highest it's been in a year. It's quite a steep rise if you look at it over here in just the last few weeks, because actually it hit a bottom that was pretty low, close to 460. There is hope for miners, I guess, if you've been stockpiling, which honestly I think I've been telling miners to do, like during the winter, you know, don't sell everything off to the market. Try and stockpile some of your minerals if you're a very big and active miner. Well, that was obviously the good move. Look at that, 6 ISK. Current prices, what the hell is this? That is something weird here. Still, we're looking at the buyers for 570, which is pretty high. 2 billion of them coming in here, 2 billion of them here, 1 billion here on the sell order. So someone has been doing something really weird here with their titanium. But yes, we're definitely seeing prices. Maybe I should go like this then. Price ascending. Yep, there we go. That's better. Not sure what happened. Maybe it's from the test server that some of my settings were changed a little bit. And we're looking at 590 for the sellers, 400 million, 200 million. So I'm still seeing more demand than supply here as well. So that it's actually pretty normal that plexes have been rising, and it's a full month going from 530 to almost 6 ISK. That's actually a pretty significant movement for titanium, the most common mineral in EVE Online. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Let's have a look here at pyrite. The 1 month chart is pretty much sideways. That's a little bit surprising. It's holding on 1220, 1236 for the sellers. Supply demand is much more in balance here. Look at that. Although this is 1 billion, if you look at all of these orders, and 300 million coming in pretty quickly here as well, that feels like it's a much more balanced situation. Let's have a look at the 1 year chart here. Again, it went up in February quite substantially, coming from like 11 ISK up towards 13, something like that. Then it corrected a little bit, and now it's just moving sideways for pyrite. I guess this was just too steep an increase in price after the nullsec battles where all of those titans were lost, and so for pyrite actually supply is able to keep up quite nicely with demand, and that's why we're seeing this sideways movement. Let's have a look at Mixalon. I think that one has been moving quite a little bit more. No, actually also a slow increase in price. The big rise has already been happening, well, starting after the summer, so that's a trend honestly that I did not see that much. On the 1 month chart, Mixalon is up a little bit, but it's not as drastic as titanium. And on the 1 year chart, this trend has started quite a little bit sooner. So when it comes to Mixalon, you know, you do have some selling opportunities at like 45 and now at 50 ISK. So we are looking at 50 ISK for the sellers and pretty much 50 for the buyers as well. Buyers 164 million, that's still a big order coming in here. All of this together is probably close to 200 million again. So I'm seeing more demand than supply still in Mixalon, but the big movement, yeah, that's been going on from right after the summer. And now we're looking at 50 ISK for Mixalon. You're looking pretty good if you're a miner for Mixalon and for titanium, I would say. Isogen on the 1 year chart, well, it's going up again after the summer. It's a little bit slower than the rest of them, and it's coming from a high point of 155 at the beginning of the year. But the trend is here, you know, if you look at that, it hit a bottom below 120, and now it's heading back towards 140. If you look at 140 for the sellers, 135 for the buyers. That's a little bit more balanced situation again. I think here you got 62 million of them coming in. That's a pretty big sell order. So where a few weeks ago we had a clear demand situation, you know, where there was way more demand coming in than supply. That does seems to have stabilized a little bit, and this big order here in fact is going to put a ceiling on the price for the foreseeable future. And the order is at 140 ISK. So yeah, this is probably going to start moving sideways right in the band that it's in right now. And so don't expect a huge increase in price for Isogen. Honestly, the ones that are still moving and still seem to have some momentum and potential are titanium and Mixalon for the high sec minerals. Let's have a look at Noxium then. That one went up after a little bit of a correction, so it's not like this is a clear trend just yet. For Noxium we're looking at 757 ISK for the sellers, 747 for the buyer, so a very small margin. 2 million and 3 million, but those are older orders, and here 4 million and 3 million coming in, so this is probably going to be an end to whatever trend has been going on for a longer time. So it has been increasing in price, but right around 750 I think we'll see enough supply that this will either really slow down the trend, or it could actually start correcting a little bit for Noxium. Coming from a high of more than 1000 ISK though, it's nice to see Noxium come back up a little bit. Let's have a look then as well at Megasite, maybe just a quick check of the trend. Well, that one is pretty much moving sideways at 1600 ISK. Yeah, it's difficult to say, you know, there is a little bit of more demand here, but honestly people just tend to buy the Megasite from the market and not fill in the buy orders. So they either put up a sell order for a longer time, or they come to the market and pick them up. Buyers of Megasite are quite the opportunistic type here, so it's difficult to really say that this is going to have an influence on the price, which honestly has been just moving along the 1600 band for a few months now. So I honestly don't see any reason to suspect that it will change. On the 1 month chart it's even down a little bit. Let's have a look at Zydrine then. 1 month chart down a little bit as well. 1 year chart, honestly I still feel that this one is pretty interesting as well, to have a look at longer term trends here. And yeah, after the increase with the summer expansion, winter expansion right here, you can see that it's pretty much been moving sideways at around 700 ISK price mark, and it's still there. You know, 696 really is where the first sell orders come into play. 675 for the buy orders, so people are actually willing to put up quite a little bit of ISK for that. And over here 4.5 million, it's a pretty big order, so don't expect the price to like do anything all too drastic here in Zydra. And this looks like an okay supply market, where everything seems to be moving sideways, and it's been doing that for quite a little bit. More fight then. General trend for the 1 year is down, trend for the 1 month is down as well. And are we looking at a good supply market? Well, 400,000 coming in, 100,000, 367,000. So all of these are pretty recent, still at 6,900 ISK. I would say more fight is looking like it's going to continue to move sideways. So yeah, general trends in minerals. For the high-sec ones, up a little bit, although it has slowed down quite substantially. For the null-sec ones, the more expensive minerals, I'm seeing maybe close to a very small downward trend in some of them, and a sideways movement for most of them. So yeah, let's have a quick look at Tech 1 chips then. We are looking at 1130 for that. 1130. Drake, this is the 1 month chart, pretty much sideways. Like I said, Maelstrom up, but that's, well, actually that's up 10 million. But it's already coming back down. I think we're seeing here a high of 196 current sellers, well, 198 buyers, 186. That's a pretty big gap actually between buy and sell orders of 13-14 million. Yeah, not bad, almost 10%. It's actually a decent gap, so I do think we'll see this come down. Are we seeing supply coming online? Nothing too drastic just yet. So Maelstrom actually holding on a little bit. Surprising here. The Omen, clearly a sideways movement. The Rock, it tried twice to jump up to like 210, 215, but it's already correcting back to 10 here again for the sellers coming in. 203 for the buyers, so the margin is closing again, but overall the movement is not anything drastic. The Talos, probably a sideways movement in general. Yeah, look at that, it actually went down at the beginning of the month. Now it's trying to claw its way back up a little bit, and we're again looking at an empty sell order market. But honestly, the Talos, it's just a battle cruiser. Supply will come in pretty quickly, I think. Maybe this is a reaction to the new warp out effect that we have on CC. So you have like 4 engine parts that actually open up and have like a cooling system whenever the ship goes to warp. That should come to in Kronos as well, and so maybe this is a little bit of a reaction there. But honestly, I don't think we're looking at a trend in any of this. If I go for the 1 month charts very quickly on these ships, you can see this pretty much sideways movement since February, after they increased in price together with the minerals. The Omen, it's just a very bad chart base here from 9 to 11 million. That's not such a big swing, so overall, you know, it went up and down a little bit, but no trend can be discerned here. The Rock, again, it went up with the minerals, and over here still slowly going up. Yeah, for the Rock, gotta be honest here, still trending up, but I think it's going to slow down here again. And then the Talos here again with the minerals, and despite some variations overall in the last few months, pretty much a sideways movement. Let's have a look at some Tech 2 ships here. We're gonna have a look at the 1 year chart then for these. Nice big spikes here for the Absolution. Unfortunately, it's looking like it's at a spike at the moment again, so don't buy them, sell them if you have them. And this bottom of 190, you know, that has triggered 2 spikes already. That's something I think you can keep an eye out for. Oh, and I forgot to write down Tech 2 markets, so probably close to 14 minutes. I'll check it out after this. Astarte, again, nice spiky behavior right here. That looks pretty cool. After that, it went down towards 200 million, triggered a little spike, and here again we have this bouncing effect that is trending up towards 240 million. I think you can clearly see that there are pretty good trade opportunities in these ships. The Claymore here, nice spiky behavior again. It's been pretty quiet for a while for the Claymore, but honestly, if you see them hit 200 million, that's a possibility that we'll see another spike up. The Damnation, look at that, 320, that was a nice spike when they announced like command chip changes. Pretty short-lived here, and now it's working on another pretty nice spiky behavior here. So you had some serious buy opportunities again at 220 million. If you can buy like below 200 million for a command chip, you're probably looking at a pretty good deal. The EOS here again hitting 280. That's because this big spike up here is the EOS becoming a battlecruiser capable of fielding 5 heavy drones. After that, you know, it went quite a little bit, but again, once it broke this 280 million mark, right back up towards 320. In fact, sellers are as high as 337. So this is this pattern of big spiky behavior, spikes of 10, 20 million ISK. Those are pretty good opportunities. Here now the Guardian trending down. It's going to hit 130, where we did see some spiky behavior previously. So yeah, I think we are seeing a buy opportunity for the Guardian. Nighthawk been a little quiet, working on a spike after hitting 230. Honestly, I think you can do better. I think the Nighthawk can go lower than what it is now. Sleipnir here again, that's pretty good spiky behavior. Go 230 to 270, 215 to 255, 40 million spike on a 200 million ship. If you can buy them at the right time, that's a pretty good stuff here. It's trending down. I'd like to see it a little bit lower. You can clearly see here that closer to 215 is where we have some big spiky behavior. Vulture then, well, that's obviously a sell opportunity at the moment. Buy opportunities close to 200 million. They were there, but right now you want to sell those. So yeah, this is a quick look again at the 1 year chart. It's something I have not done in a little bit. Because the 1 month chart is something where you can go small term, very fast indication of is there more demand, is there more supply, and have an idea what it's going to do. But I personally also feel that for some products the trends are very important as well. Let's have a look at Tech Trees over here. Honestly, supply demand is king, so it's probably best. I can give you guys obviously the trend. It's down. We have been in an oversupplied market for the entire time. Over here, for instance, you do want to have a look at the 1 month chart here. The Tengu going up a little bit, so are we seeing some demand coming in? Proteus also spiking up a little bit, Loki as well, and the Legion going back down after a spike earlier in the month. So Legion obviously 76, 20 of them coming in, pretty recent orders. That's the oversupply situation. The Loki, it knew a little spike, 139 of them coming in. Proteus knew a little spike, 57 of them coming in again. So all of this will still be short-lived, and this is where this analysis on 1 month does come into play. When you see this on the chart, and maybe even on the longer charts, you know, when you see stuff like this, you have to wonder, is this an opportunity? Are they starting to trend up? Well, unfortunately, go for the 1 month chart. Look at the supply demand situation, and you can see that all of this will be short-lived. Once the prices spike up 5 million, something like that, people just bring more Tech 3 ships to the market, and it brings the price back down. And so that's been going on for quite a while. Yeah, Tech 3 is extremely cheap at the moment. If you want to fly them, I think it's a nice opportunity to stock up on those. So yeah, Tech 3 stuff still looking way oversupplied, and I am going to look, it's been a while, at some R64 stuff, and I'll write down 19 minutes for those. Yeah, let's have a quick look here. 1 month chart, honestly I feel that's not really where we want to go. Trend wise is probably better for these, and well, actually they went down a little bit. That's pretty surprising. So they're working on a spike, trying to maintain 55,000 ISK for Dysprosium, but after the changes to the winter expansion, or was this due to the wars, not 100% sure, it's been decently quiet for Dysprosium at least. Let's see, Neodymium, yep, actually correcting quite substantially, and this is a trend that I have not caught up with, but after crashing down to 25k, coming back up to 45k, and now it's back down to 25k. So if you're worried that like nullsec guys can completely dominate the market and push this up to ridiculous levels, that doesn't seem to be the case. In fact, Prometheum has also been correcting back, and then Thulium finally also correcting back after the big spike for the winter expansion here. So yeah, we are actually seeing a pullback in R64 stuff. I guess the situation in nullsec is very stable at the moment. They can just mine all of this moon stuff as much as they want, bring it to the market, and so this is putting a damper on the price. From what I know about nullsec, things are pretty quiet there, so I think we can look at a downward trend here unless we see like a big war materialize over the summer. I don't think this is going to change a lot. So yeah, there you go guys, quick look at R64. It's been a while as well. That's it for this ETH Talk. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.